Hello viewer. Now it's easy to head out into the deep, dark rabbit hole of PC components, whip your credit card out and spend on those new gen graphics cards that will cost you, quite frankly, a couple of kidneys to afford. But what if you simply don't have thousands of dollars kicking around for 5080s and 4090s? What if you had a budget more like a couple $100? What are your options? What is the best bang for your buck at this price range? My name is Finn and I've recently got into the PC flipping side hustle. In this video, I'm going to show you an option for around the £200 price range for a second-hand graphics card that I believe is still a great option to this day. We're going to benchmark it, we're going to give it my overall thoughts and put it in a custom build and try and make some money. Now the card I want to talk about is the iconic 2080 Super Founders Edition. Boasting 8GB of VRAM, a base clock of 1650 MHz with a boosted clock of 1815 MHz and a maximum power consumption of 250 watts. Now there's no denying in the grand scheme of things this card is still quite old, however it's still a beast in 1080p, 1440p and 4K. Let's install it into this mystery build which I put together earlier and we'll be building towards the end of the video, then listing on Marketplace, so you're gonna want to stick around. Starting off in true Finn with two ends fashion here, we're benchmarking the GPU in heaven, starting off at 1080p high settings. Let's see what we can get here. A very respectable score with an average FPS of 295. Thought I'd also take the liberty of benchmarking at 1440p, also high settings, and again a great average FPS of 178. Now booting up everyone's favourite at the moment, Marvel Rivals. The gameplay you're currently watching is 1080p ultra settings. As you can see, MSI Afterburner is showing us between 115 to 150 FPS. GPU and CPU temps looking absolutely fine. I quickly switched to 1440p to test as well. This is a mix of medium and high settings, casual average of about 100 to 130 FPS. As you can see, the RTX 2080 Super is still churning out high FPS in modern titles. Next I booted up a bit of CSGO 2, but for some weird reason MSI Afterburner didn't display on my captured footage, but this was 1080p at high settings. It was giving me a standard 200 to 220 FPS. As I mentioned earlier in the video, the 2080 Super is capable of 4K, so I tested it out on Ghost Runner. Man, it's been a while since I played this game and I'm hooked. Gonna have to replay it, honestly. Just the music and satisfaction when you get a kill, man. Anyway, it handled it well at 60 FPS, a few frame drops here and there, but it wasn't really an issue at all. Now, a cool feature and characteristic that the 2080 series cards have is that they were the first ever GPUs to support real-time ray tracing, which is a really nice characteristic to have at this price range. Now for some context, a little history lesson if you will. The 2080 and 2080 Ti came out at the same time in September 2018, with the Ti offering significantly better performance, particularly in high-resolution gaming and when using ray tracing features. Now fast forward a year later and AMD was preparing to launch its Navi-based RX 5700 XT, which offered stronger performance at a lower price. Nvidia wanted to maintain dominance in the high-end segment and responded with the Super series, including the RTX 2060 Super, 2070 Super and 2080 Super, to sort of bridge the gap between the 20 series and the 30 series for the following year. The RTX 2080 Super offered its consumers overall better performance than a regular RTX 2080 at the same retail price. The Super branding helped Nvidia refresh its lineup, keeping it relevant while generating renewed interest in ray tracing and DLSS before launching next-gen hardware. Now we're going to make this mystery build that I mentioned earlier that we used to benchmark the 2080 Super and get it listed on Facebook Marketplace. Now if you watched my last video, you'll know I built this 1660 Super build. Update, it still hasn't sold. Right, let's get building. Right, getting into the build here. First up is this mid-tower ATX case from CIT, which I copped on Amazon for £63. I had someone in the last video comment that I spent too much on the case. I think I'll just try and get some second-hand mods in the near future, but I just purchased 3 of them at once, so I had to use them. Now the motherboard, CPU fan, and RAM I got as a combo for this build, as I just pulled it out of a Minecraft PC I bought off Marketplace. I used the 1660 Super inside it for the build last video. The CPU is an Intel 7 9700KF, the motherboard an Asus Prime Z390A, and the RAM is some gorgeous looking white Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro 16GB. Minus the GPU, case and SSDs sold separately, this bundle cost me around £120, which for all of this combined was great value. Here I am putting new thermal paste on the CPU and reinstalling the CPU fan. Then for the SSD, I'm going with this 500GB one from Fanjang. Cheap, does the job, Bosch, cost me £25 off of Amazon. Now we're installing it into the case. For the power supply, I managed to get this absolute steal off the same person I purchased the Minecraft PC off of. She chucked in this MSI Mag 750-watt power supply, still in the shrink wrap, for £35. Also wanted to go much cheaper on the cable extensions this time around because they are so expensive for what they are on Amazon. I got these white ones from AliExpress for literally £7 after shipping. It was a no-brainer. Here we are installing the 2080 Super after cable managing, and complete.
3, 2, 1. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
This is how it turned out. Super happy with how the build turned out. It cost us £385 total. Now it's fully complete, let's list it on Marketplace. And now we wait. And whilst we wait, I better let you know my thoughts on the 2080 Super. Is it worth it? Is there any other better graphics cards in the £200 price range in 2025? Well, the answer is yes. Yes, there is. The RTX 3060 Ti is a GPU that on the surface only performs slightly better than a 2080 Super. However, it offers significantly better performance per watt, 16% to be exact, which means it runs cooler, newer technology with better ray tracing capabilities and that new DLSS frame generation technology. Not only this, but it also edges in longevity, as Nvidia are going to keep around driver updates for the 30 series just a tad longer than the 20 series. Not only that, but it also supports the more recent HDMI 2.1 that allows you to play games in 4K 120 FPS rather than the 2080 Super's HDMI 2.0, which does allow you to play games at 4K at 120 FPS with a significant decrease in image quality and coloring. Basically, it's better in every single way than the 2080 Super, and they're going for around the same price on eBay and Marketplace. Now, enough about that. Let's see if we can sell this PC.
Well, it's been about 3 weeks or so since I made that Facebook Marketplace post, and I think I finally have a buyer. They're coming in about a couple hours. Now we've got the PC booted up. We're going to reset it and then put it in a box. Hopefully the guy turns up, and I'll probably set up the camera on the stairs or something so you can look. Let's do this. Right, here she is, boys. In the box, all packaged up. I don't know if you want me to get it out or anything.
No, it's fine. You've already showed me everything anyway.
Funny about that house, I saw you looking at it actually. The it's all here.
Yeah, nice one, mate.
Thank you very much, then, Dave.
No worries.
Enjoy the PC.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Take care, guys. Yeah, I will. See ya. Let's go. So happy we managed to sell that PC and make a profit of £115. If you did enjoy the video today, guys, please make sure you subscribe, like, and let me know your thoughts on the video in the comments below. See you next time. Peace.